Hello knife addicts. So I'm going to show you how I clean my pocket knives. This is the Kizer Assassin, and it's one of my favorite knives, and I have not cleaned it in forever. You can tell by looking at it. So basically you're just going to start by disassembling the knife, obviously, to get into those hard to reach places. I would recommend using 91% isopropyl alcohol. I got a little spray bottle I put mine in. You're going to need a polish rag, and you're going to need a T6 and a T8. So your T8 is your pivot. I like to also use a mat to keep track of my parts. There's a magnet here that holds on to the parts. Let's see, so this is going to be T6, the clip screw. That ought to free up this side of the knife. I'm going to leave that, I'm not going to leave that in there. I like to keep the screws from each side of the knife on a certain magnet. Okay, yeah, it's pretty dirty. Pretty dirty. You're going to want to take your bearings. So what I do with my bearings, to get all the gunk out of them, you're going to pop the pivot out. I use a little bowl to put the bearings in, like so, and then I spray it down with alcohol. I spray enough in there until they're moving like that. Give them a little shake, 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 and then I just set them aside. Let them hang out in that alcohol for a little bit. So, what we're going to do is, we're going to see if there's any, those washers come out. We're going to take them out maybe, if we can get them out. Or we're going to leave them there. So we got your backspacer, which really you don't need to take the screw out for that. It can stay just fine. The backspacer is pretty dirty as well. We're going to get our polish cloth. And we're going to spray down these scales with this alcohol. And we're just going to rub them down. Get all that gunk off of there. If you really want to get super finicky, you can take off the lock bar insert. You can take that off if you want, but I'm not going to because there's no need to. Let's hit our spray bottle up again for the clip. Get that baby nice and shiny. You want to be careful you don't lose any pieces. That is going to stay on there. I'm not taking that off. Little spray. Rub it down good with our polish cloth. So this knife has speed holes. That's why the inside seems to get dirtier than others. Usually what I do with speed holes is I'll stick the polish cloth in through one side and just yank it through like that. And that tends to clean all the gunk out of there as well. Pull through on this one. It gets tighter as you pull it through, which in turn cleans the inside pretty good. Pull that through again. The scales look pretty good. Let's hit that blade. The nice thing about isopropyl alcohol is that you can spray it all over the place and it dries up rather fast. So you don't got to really worry about getting it on anything. I clean a lot of my electronics with it as well. So I am a dry bearing guy. I don't use lube on my knives. I think that the bearings do a great job on their own without any gunk in them. But there are products out there that you can buy for lubricating your bearings if you want to. And this would be the perfect time to do that when you have it apart. So that looks pretty good. Nice and clean. Now I'm going to take the bearings out one at a time. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to roll them around in my finger, just like this. Roll them around, make sure all the gunk gets out of there. And then we're going to go for number 2. Get that out of there. Drop these in here. Give these a little once over with the alcohol as well. Won't hurt anything. This knife, thankfully, does not have very many screws, so this was actually extremely easy to do. So, you're going to take your non-show side and make sure that you're putting your pivot in on the right side. So, that's the non-show side. We're going to set that aside. And this side without the screw hole is the side we want showing on the show side. Going to pop that in there. We're going to stick our back spacer back on. We can put it on the right way, that is. Okay. Then we're going to put our bearings back in place. I've taken apart a bunch of knives and forgotten to put the bearings back into place, so that's importante. There's the other side. And then we're just going to stick the scale back on. Make sure that pops in there, that pops in there. We're going to hold it down. We're going to take our, ooh, you know what, let's use this new Kizer one. Check that baby out, huh? I haven't had a chance to use it. The first time I use it is right now. It's got it rolls on one side here. Spins, I guess. So it makes it a lot easier to screw in the screws. And then get this back in there. This has a little ball bearing there that locks it into place, so it only needs one screw, which is really nice. And then we're going to tighten that up. Now we can get into centering the blade on another video. This actually feels really good right where it is. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's perfect. And that is how I clean my pocket knives.